Hello.
Hey guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we're gonna be helping a member find their personality type. Hey man, you don't have to go into anything you're not comfortable with. We'll just be asking questions. How you respond, we'll be using that to triangulate down on your best fit type. With that, you're free to do whatever. Can you introduce yourself, man?
My name's Kevin. I live in Las Vegas. Uh, I'm a bartender, and I uh, I don't do a lot. I try to get out, but it's usually like a lot of friends that will get me out. So
Mhm.
I like to spend a lot of time alone.
Okay.
That's it. I have little stuff. I like to play guitar. I take singing lessons, stuff like that, just to have some hobbies.
Okay. What attracted you to like guitar and singing?
I played it like for like 3 months when I was in high school, and I just went away from it for a long time. And about 2 years ago, I just needed something because I wasn't doing a lot. Like I was working and all that, but I wasn't doing a lot with my life necessarily. So I just needed something to kind of like get me going. And as soon as I picked that up, I ended up getting like hooked on it. So, and then the singing, I'm not a great singer, but I'm trying to at least get good enough to where I can stand.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You said bartender, man. What attracted you to bartending?
Honestly, not much. I didn't do school necessarily after high school, so I did like massage therapy school and stuff like that. But I ended up not liking it very much,
Hmm.
and so then a lot of time went by because you know just issues with myself necessarily. So
Hmm. Yeah, man. I mean,
I didn't really have like a plan or anything after high school. I was kind of just winging it.
hmm.
I didn't have like a sense of like direction, so
Okay.
there was nothing that really like made me like excited to go figure out or learn at that time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for, man?
uh Basically that I'm a good person, and that I'm there to help people when they need it. Not always. Most of the time, it's only really when I feel like they need it that I'll lend advice or give my help in some way. um, Most of the time, it's not that I think like if they deserve it or not, but
Mhm.
it's more like I just feel that need. There's something that will click if the way I see someone, their emotions or how they handle a situation or whatever, and it'll click in me to just help the best I can.
Mhm.
If that's just advice or try to lift their spirits. Like at work, no one else. We have a door that's locked, and you have to buzz in to get in. So like just little stuff like that, I'll like open the door for everyone before they get to the door and buzz it, and then I'll open it when they leave, kind of thing. And that
Mhm.
just those little things. I've had a lot of people come up to me and tell them that I made their day and stuff. So
Mhm.
just little stuff like that I try to do, and it helps with tips.
But
Win-win.
you think I gotta write that down. But Shelly, you got anything?
Yeah, what are some behaviors about people that make you upset?
um, Being fake, um, being aggressive, uh, disrespectful people, kind of like people that don't necessarily like at work, if they're not going by like what I ask them to do, like because I'm going by what the rules are there. If they get lippy or whatever with me back or some that kind of stuff really makes me angry. Too much though.
Insubordination?
Yeah, I go red pretty quick.
How do you behave when you get angry?
Not good. So when I get I get to that point, I end up getting very just there's something that takes over my body. It feels just like this huge rush of it's obviously adrenaline, but when I get angry, it's usually an adrenaline spike, a real quick adrenaline spike, almost like someone just you know hit that point with me. You know what I mean, like the red line. Um, I won't take it farther than that, but I'll usually get pretty, angry and basically just tell them what's up. But then immediately after that, like when it's over, I always have like regrets of how I handled it. I could have said this better, that better. And I'll have like an adrenaline dump almost every time that happens, and like I'll feel it in my back and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah.
And are you able to understand how people feel pretty well, or is that something you worked on? Like,
By their face,
so you read body language
by
well?
their body language. Not necessarily, I can't like feel them,
Mm-hmm.
but it's almost like I can see, or the tone of their voice, or what they're talking about, the words they say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over observant when it comes to that with people.
Mm-hmm. When you were a kid, is there anything you wanted to be or anything like that?
No, not necessarily. With my parents, there was never a lot of direction. It was all just like a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any either, so they didn't get that as kids either. So I don't blame anybody. For me, like a lot of my things would like make people laugh or make people see me in a positive light. Was always something that would make me feel good. So yeah, I never really like there's things I liked, like making people laugh and what else? I love music, but I never really took it beyond that. Like, oh, maybe I'll do this as a career. Let's set this goal, that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So time has passed by.
So you don't really what do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'm doing a lot of self-development stuff right now. Therapies. I'm always constantly researching stuff on YouTube and Google. Just I love to research self-development, and so I'm just basically a lot of my stuff is getting out of my comfort zone. I'm very stuck in my comfort zone. Like, it's pretty bad. It
Mm-hmm.
keeps me in toxic situations, and I keep me in toxic situations. But yeah, I've been stuck, and every time I'll get out of it a little bit, I end up falling back into it. Like I'll start walking a lot, like every day, get to really good shape, get mentally better, but then something will happen emotionally or whatever in my life that'll make me go back to kind of default mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I've noticed that it kind of is. Like I'll fall back into default mode, and that's more of like my comfortable in the chaos kind of thing, like, or the toxicness. That's a word.
Okay. Shelly?
When you want to learn something new in life, how do you go about learning it and executing?
It's rarely ever where I'll sit there and be like, oh, I want to learn this. It's always something that I stumble upon or hear someone else talking about, and that will kind of urge me. If it piques my interest, then I'll start it, and then if it piques it even more when I start it, then I'll start going down the rabbit hole. That's kind of how personality type was with me. I had an ex-girlfriend show me about it. She wanted to know both of our types or whatever, and I ended up just getting hooked on it. Like it wasn't like that bad the first year, but like the last 4 years, I've been just every day I watch stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or read up on functions and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think is something that stresses you out?
That's my problem. Oh, well, I say my problem is that I really try to stay away from things that stress me out. So, but I'll also stay in them, which is weird. Like it's because I'm comfortable in that. Like more of that is like my family. Like when I'm around my family a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I basically hide from them. I always feel like I can't be who I am around them. Like we don't have personal relationships and stuff like that. So, and for me, personal relationships helps me to be more outgoing and extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so not having a personal relationship with them is tough. So I'll end up hiding or just whatever. Feel like it's not even worth talking to them about stuff or whatever.
Mhm. What's things that make you happy?
I've had issues with that. Um, are we allowed to go like about our own like problems that we've had?
Anything you want to say is up to
Yeah,
you.
I had a lot of my stuff. So I haven't had a lot of joy or anything since I was a kid, and I don't know if it's like the way I grew up or if like 'cause my stepdad was very like domineering and just really loud and aggressive and talk down to you all the time, stuff like that. So it kind of just made me like curl up into a ball in a shell, constantly. I think that's why I over observe people is because I'm constantly like listening. I would listen to see if he was downstairs or um, like if I wanted to go get something to drink or something, I'd always like just stand at the door for like minutes sometimes, deciding whether or not if I should go down there or not, what he was going to say, what was going to happen, all that kind of stuff. So, um, but with that, with my therapist, she used to talk to something about anhedonia or something like that, where you don't
Mhm.
enjoy necessarily. And I had issues with uh, painkillers.
Mhm.
Um, Not really with anything else. I just always, I think it was the euphoria feeling that it would give
Mhm.
me. So it made me
Mhm.
feel happy.
Mhm.
So yeah, so now I'm off everything. I've just quit everything because I'm on like a mission to just feel what it feels like to be normal per se.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm just trying to get there. They say it just takes time, so I'm gonna like try to just stick with it for a while,
Mhm.
and hopefully, I'll start to feel that stuff. The more I get out of my comfort zone, push myself like this
Mhm.
makes me nervous as heck. But I was just like, I'm gonna do it no matter what.
Yeah, I definitely think um you know a lot of people talk about like getting into like the gym and stuff. I've seen a lot of people who were like pain addicts, like they channel that into like gym and it works
Yeah,
for them and it keeps them clean for years. So I mean that's a recommendation there.
yeah. Gym's always a tough one for me. I don't know why. There's just stuff about the gym I don't like,
Hmm.
but walking has always been like my therapeutic thing. I
Okay.
go outside, put on the headphones, listen to music, listen to Audible
Hmm.
research books, stuff like that. Kind of just be in my head too if I want to be. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gym, I've stuck with walking. I've never stuck with the gym. It's proven. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works for you, man. True try, whatever works. Um, uh, what is a thing that you think you miss out on a lot?
I don't know. I just like there's got to be more to like to me than especially because I'll show it at work. But it's like as soon as like everyone thinks I'm extroverted at work, and I know probably most places they're gonna think that, especially
Hmm.
as you're a bartender and you're like the center of attention.
Hmm.
Um, but like as soon as I leave work, it's like my brain just shuts down. And
Hmm.
most of my life, like the past like 15 years, I'll go in my room, sit there a lot, research stuff, basically I'll go out and do something if it benefits me necessarily. If I'm getting to hang out with somebody that like a girl or something that I'm interested in, or even friends, they might call me up or hit me up, and if I don't want to go do it, I'm not going to go do it. And sometimes I'll even not answer them back or something like that, and it's not good for my friendship. So I am trying to change a lot of that stuff too.
Hmm.
Because I have a guy that at work that's a friend of mine. I let him borrow a lot of money,
Hmm.
and he's owed me for a while, but he has cancer and stuff. So like this whole time, I feel bad for him. So I haven't like pushed to get paid back. But the other day, like just to get out, I talked to my therapist and to get out of my comfort zone, like because it's hard for me to like bring it up. I'll always like be passive aggressive once I hit like a certain point of time where I start to feel like I'm getting disrespected,
Hmm.
and I'll take like the passive aggressive approach, maybe not talk to them no more, end it, whatever. And I don't want to do that no more. I want to change those things. So I ended up talking to him, and it worked out fine. I overanalyze what's going to happen, in
Hmm.
the conversation, or with a friend, if we want to go out with friends or something, I always overanalyze it. I will do it and push myself sometimes, but it's more now. Because a lot of the times when I went out when I was younger, it was always to like, I would always like drink with them, or because that would get me into like a more playful, out of my head kind of state. Instead of over analyzing everything, what people are saying, what they're thinking about me, all that kind of stuff.
Do you sorry, you overanalyze what they're thinking about? Do you have a tendency to think people are having negative thoughts towards you?
It's not that I think they're having negative thoughts towards me. It's more like, if I do this or if I act this way, will they have a negative thought about me or something? It's not that I'm constantly looking at people thinking they're thinking negative of me. It's more like, I'll kind of think of like, I'll think about stuff before I say it. Not always. Sometimes I won't. But if I care about the person, then it's a bigger deal to me. If I don't care, I don't really care what I say, unless it like hurts them or something, or hurts their feelings or something.
What is the let's say no restrictions, you could have any job in the world. What's the job you would feel the best at?
It would have to be something in like art, like not art necessarily, but like creativeness. That always like fuels something in me. Because even the guitar or singing, it's creativeness. You know what I mean? So that's always something that piques my interest, is being creative in some form of fashion.
Yeah. What's 3 words that your friends would use to say about you?
Caring, I'd say. That could be really fun. But the other one would be probably like a flake.
Like,
Yeah, really hard to get a hold of, kind of ghost. I'm like a ghost with, friends and everybody, almost family.
so caring, Blake, and what else?
Caring and fun. It could be fun.
What are 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses you have?
My strength, I'd say, is being able to listen to people's and give them advice. Weakness is getting outside, doing things for myself, and I focus on myself in my head all the time, but I don't necessarily put that into practice in the real world, which I'm trying to now. So yeah, getting out of my head and out of my comfort zone is probably my biggest weakness.
Do you think you struggle with starting things or finishing them?
Both.
Yeah, bro.
And it all depends too. If it's up to me, it might take forever to finish something. I might finish it quick. It all depends on how I feel about it, how interested I am, how motivated it makes me. So yeah, but yeah, starting stuff is difficult for me unless it really piques my interest.
If you
That's how everything is for me. If I'm not interested or have like a motivation, I won't even do it at all.
okay.
If you could time travel to any time, where would you go? Future, past.
Past.
Stay where you're at.
Yeah, it'd probably be a past thing. Probably like of my childhood or something. Hopefully it changed. Led me down a better way. that kind of thing.
Okay. Let's see. What does 80 look like for you? 80 years old.
It's probably complaining a lot. I'm already complaining right now about my bones and muscles, but a lot of that's because I sit a lot. I sit down way too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm trying to change stuff and get outside more often. But I've been having issues with my sinuses. I've been having like really bad sinuses. I live in Vegas, so it's really dry out here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one issue I have is if I'm going to focus on walking to help, get me started and change a lot of my stuff, I'm going to have to overcome the sinus issue, or get my butt in the gym.
If you were to help somebody else learn something new, how would you go about that?
I force it on people sometimes. Just in the beginning, like I might if it's something I'm really interested in, I'll definitely bring it up really quickly to people I care about, or basically just care about. But I'll just listen to them, and if it's something I think that I can help with, or if I have enough knowledge on it, I'll bring up a couple options, or there's like a main option that pops up first, but then I'll just overthink and start getting a whole bunch of options.
Yeah. What are your goals for 2024?
My main goal is just challenging myself, getting out of the house, getting out of my comforts. I want to get an apartment. I've been staying with like a friend of mine.
Hey, describe yourself as a child.
I was always trying to make my family laugh or something. If I was around people I didn't know, I was quiet, shy. It always takes me like to get semi-personal with somebody or comfortable with them to open up fully. So it was always like trying to make family laugh, and then besides that, I'd be really shy with others. I would go out a lot, but like even out with my friends, I would have fun in the moment every once in a while. But even then, I was always in my head thinking about random things or what could happen in the situations, or good things that could happen, bad things, and stuff like that. Not constantly, but it would pop up a lot. It still does to this day. I'll say I was fun when I was around people or my family, but a lot of the times after that, I'd just go hang out in the room for a long period of time.
What's other hobbies you have besides the guitar, dancing?
I listen to music. I research just a lot of, it's not like I go down the rabbit hole, or I want to necessarily, I don't take notes to try to learn the things I get. Like personality type, I don't sit there and take notes to try to where I have ultimate knowledge of it. It's more like just where it takes me. I'll start watching some like that piques my interest, so I'll look into it a little bit more, stuff like that. So I have like a vague knowledge of things.
Yeah,
because my stuff will change a lot. Like I got into coins for like 2 years, went crazy, bought like tons of different silver coins and all that, and then it switched to fragrances. Now
fragrances.
I have like 600. Oh, there you go. That's another one. I have like 600 fragrances.
You have 600 fragrances?
Yeah, yeah, that's nuts.
Really? What's your
yeah. I have a lot. There's a lot. I have a lot of stuff. it was really hard to. But have you ever heard of Dior Homme?
Yes.
The Parfum. I love the Parfum and the intense version of those. Actually, I love them all pretty good, except for the sport one. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm like one type of person. Like I have maybe
Signature set.
probably have maybe like $2,000 worth of cologne. That's not a lot, but my favorite and my go-to all the time is always Creed Aventus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's like that's pretty much. I have all those other colognes and I never wear them. I'm like I find the best one, and that's it.
Good.
I love creative interest. Like,
It's good to have a signature scent because then people, when they smell that, they'll start to think of you. You know, I'm
yeah.
constantly wearing different things, so people don't know what to think.
What do you think motivates you to like try different things?
I'm just getting tired of. I'll
Okay.
get to a point where I'm just like, I feel like I have to change something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I get bored or something, you know, being quiet too long or not doing something too long with myself.
mm-hmm.
I'll get down on myself, and then I'll be like, it'll start to really click. Like you have to change something.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally understand.
Yeah.
Um.
Hey, if you ever want to, I know you like to wear Creed Aventus,
mhm.
but they have a lot of clones of that that are amazing, that are a lot cheaper. Just if you ever need a suggestion.
Hey, which one? The which ones? Which clones you talking about? I've heard
Um,
a couple of them. Uh,
Club de Nuit,
Club de Nuit. I don't like that one. It smells so synthetic.
that's the original one. Get the Parfum version of that.
Okay.
It's a lot, but it's the first sprays, right?
hmm
Smells like lemon cleaner or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It smells like I don't like. I like people like recommended that to me, and I got it. It's strong though. It's way stronger than Creed, but it's just so synthetic. Like it just smells like. But people like it though. But it's just like it's not
It
it.
is rough. It is rough.
Like
And if
it,
another one that's a lot cheaper, it's about if Creed's a 10, it's probably like a 7. But Mont Blanc Explorer, that's a designer one. It's not a niche like Creed is. That one's really good too.
yeah. The Mont Blanc. Yeah, that
Or, yeah.
Explorer. I've seen the one that's have it the white one, the Mont Blanc. I forget exactly what the white one is called.
Legend.
Legend. Oh yeah, yeah, that one's pretty good too. I love.
I have that. I have all those too.
How much money have you wasted on cologne, man?
Too much, brother. Yeah, probably like $6,000 or something. I know.
Yeah, I just go with with my signature, and
That's a good way to go. Let's save you some money.
saves you a lot of money. You got to know exactly which one you want. You
Yeah,
have a hard time figuring out like exactly what you want.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think your deepest insecurities come from? If you had to guess.
It's probably not being listened to as a
hmm
child. Not didn't care necessarily like to get to know me personally, like even my
hmm
mom. Like it was almost like people just figured they knew you, or they would give a hug, and it felt like that's what was happening, but it wasn't like a personal connection. It was more just like you're my kid, you're my mom.
hmm
We never like it would never be like how are you doing, like how was
hmm
school going.
Yeah.
It was like just if you did too bad in school, I would get punished or something.
hmm
Uh, they were the type that would even like tell you to brush your teeth, and if they did, it was like my stepdad would get really like angry and like talk down to you. That was like kind of his way to get you to do something, was
hmm
to make fun of you or talk down. So that kind of stuff, man. I feel like it just closed me down a lot.
hmm so how do you deal with chaos, man? Like if you're in a chaotic situation?
I really don't. If I'm thinking like I can be in them, but I'll kind of put myself in the background, like, or if I'm at my parents or when I live with them, I would just sit in my room, put on my headphones, noise canceling,
hmm
be in my own little world because they a lot of yelling going on there. Um, my parents' way and my whole immediate family's way of talking is basically just screaming and yelling, and then at the very last moment they'll say the meanest thing that they know about you, basically, kind of just to hurt your feelings, kind of stuff. And that's how stuff will usually end. And then that's kind of where I learned my passive aggressiveness because we would do that. Everyone would go kind of to their own corners and wouldn't talk for whatever period of time until someone kind of changed it up.
hmm
Yeah.
Um, uh, what's something that drives you and motivates you?
Uh, just being a better me. Like I just always feel like that, like I should be doing a lot more than I am. Like I have the potential to do a lot more than I am, but there's something that I keep getting stuck. I would say, but I really am trying now, but it takes me a long time to like get to a point to where it look, you can actually see it from the outside. I'd say, little. I take little steps. I don't set a lot of goals for myself. I'll basically just kind of do it if something I get interested in, or if I feel like I'm lacking with the exercise or gaining a few pounds or something, then I'll be like, hey, you don't want to do this because you don't feel good, or you don't feel good about yourself. I don't feel good about myself when I'm just sitting around, or if I let myself gain weight, because I've been there many times. So yeah, I'll push myself in that way. And now I'm pushing myself just to get out of my comfort zones. Push myself to get my own apartment. I have my own car, I have my job, but there's always something that makes me want to like have like someone there, with, like if it's family or a friend. So it's like I do have a fear of I think I have a fear of like being on my own.
You're being alone.
Yeah. I don't think it is bad. It doesn't feel that way, but there's got to be something that keeps me from doing. My dad, I don't know what my personality type is, but I feel like he passed away, but I feel like he had the same type of personality, but he was forced to get his own place and all that stuff when he was like 18 because he had me. And so I know I can do it. There's just something that I'll always make excuses of why I can't, kind of thing. So,
What do you think is something that holds you back?
my self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Not not knowing if I'm going to fail at it, or not knowing the outcome.
Do you generally like
It's big for me,
huh?
knowing the outcome of stuff. I usually won't do something unless it's someone I care about, that I know it'll make make them have make their life a little easier that day or whatever. Or if they really need the help, I'll do it. But a lot of the stuff I do, I think a lot of the reason I stay in is because the outcome. And even with working out or walking, it takes a while for you to start feeling, benefits.
Yeah. So you were talking about the outcome earlier. Do you see yourself generally looking towards that a lot, or
Yeah,
yeah, that's like your main focus is the outcome?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used to I still put them on. I think it was learned behavior, but I put on masks. So, um, like at work, even my extrovertedness, it's not always, just there. It's like I'll do it because someone's wanting to talk or whatever. Usually I'm in my own world. I'll be singing or, serving drinks and stuff like that. But if it's someone I want to get personal with, I'll sit there and talk with them, or, just ask them how they're doing. I always like to get deep with stuff if I care about something. I don't want to talk much if it's just how's the weather, that kind of stuff.
So how do you deal with being around new people?
Uh, I'd say I just have to. I just gauge them. I see what they're talking about. Kind of get a view of kind of who they are, or what they're dealing with. But usually I'll listen. Listen.
Do you think it's hard for you? Do you think you've ever struggled with understanding how other people feel, or is that just been very natural for you?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, and if they don't show it in their body or you know their emotions, I don't think I wouldn't have any idea.
Um, yeah. Let's see.
What is something that you would find insulting from somebody else?
Uh, just when people disrespect, like they'll talk bad about you. Yeah, I'd say like when someone says something about like the way you look or if we sound dumb, stuff like that. Kind of make fun of you, basically. I don't do well with people making fun of me.
Does the future make you insecure?
It's like I'm always no, I don't think so. It's like I'm always thinking about the future, but I'm more just in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I always think about the future, but I'm not necessarily in the moment. I'm just living right now. I don't know if that'll make any sense. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can get stubborn if you like put your mind to something, like you want something? Do you think it would be easy for somebody else to change your mind?
Uh, I could change my mind a lot. I could see people's points of view if it makes sense to me. But yeah, if it's something that like I know is true, I might even be like sarcastic to them or something. Like, you know, give, yeah, yeah. But most of the time, I'll listen to people. I'll listen to their points of view because a lot of people can have, you know, be right about certain things. Not everything, seriously.
Like you talked about being caring earlier. What do you think you get that ability from?
I don't know. There's just always that feeling inside me. It's a lot of it's only when people need it, or I feel like people need it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I see someone come in with a fall down, I'm the type of person I'll rush to go help them up. Or if I see someone that I don't always give money to people that are like beggars on the street, but it's like there'll be moments where I feel like there's just something that feels like I need to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like the person or if like it's the mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it could be a variable of one of those.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Shelly, you done?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, man. We got it. Okay. Your type always annoys the shit out of me. Um,
I already know.
Definitely one of the ones that annoys the shit out of me. First thing I noticed about you, man, was that you're very direct, right? You're very direct. Okay. It's not hard to like understand what you're saying. It's very specific, concise, to the point. It's not like informative. It's not beating around the bush. Um, it is what it is. It's just understood. Okay. So with you being direct, that eliminates eight types you can't be because you're not informative. Okay. You're obviously pragmatic. Okay. You're rebellious, contrarian. So you're also interest based. You talked about if it helps me with the tips, win-win. So that's interest. Um, Another one you said in here. Let's see. You go in here. Go out to do something if it benefits me. So that's a pragmatic interest. You know what I'm saying? So pragmatic interest is a little bit different than affiliative interest. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's a total difference. It's like the here and now interest. What do I get out of the situation? So that's the pragmatic interest. So I got you for pragmatic, interest, direct. So that means by far you're a STP. You talked about things having to make sense to you. Uh, that's because you're referring to your logical framework. And you said like you can kind of actually even get a little cynical with, telling people the truth sometimes or whatnot. So that seems like it was a little some people would say pessimistic. Can you hear me? You guys
Mm-hmm.
pessimistic TI. So that would be in the second slide if you want to be technical. Um, you also like making people laugh, see the positive in life. So you're giving people SE experience. You love to give people an SE experience. Like you've always done that. Seems as though you've always done that. You've always been good at that. That's something that motivates you as a person to give someone an SE experience. Um, you said like at one point you did say you like to force it on people. That's an SE thing. So SENI. Um, and you also talked about the outcome. Like your focus is on the outcome. So, with that being said, we have you as an ESTP, and ESTPs actually, a lot of people actually they believe they're actually introverted. A lot of them, ESTPs. Um, you'll see a lot of them. They will say that they're like introverted and need their own time, whatever. They're one of the more introverted extroverts. I mean, well, did I say that shit right? I think I said it right. But yeah, man, we got you as the ESTP, direct outcome, SENITIFE, pragmatic. Yeah, ESTP. What'd you type yourself as?
Dude,
Huh?
the absolute opposite of that. Oh no, not the opposite.
ISFP?
INFP.
INFP? Dude, he's the second fucking ESTP to say that he was INFP. What the fuck's going on with that?
I've taken multiple. I've never gotten anything but INFP.
Oh my God. That fucking FE trickster.
Yeah, I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was like.
FI trickster. FI
I feel
trickster.
like INFPs are nicer than like. I feel like I can be really overly nice sometimes,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like they're just more bubbly than I am a lot of the times.
You can't even get an INFP on a camera. It's impossible.
I thought I was having that issue though. I don't know. That's weird.
Like they just straight up
Right.
don't even get on the camera, and they always look like they want to run. Like they literally always look like they want to just like run the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They are like
Kind of felt like that inside.
they, they, they are like the supreme background lords. Um,
Crazy.
they really care about what other people think. They're affiliative, so they care about doing what's right all the time. You're pragmatic, dude. But you care about doing what works. If
This is really
INFPs care about doing what's right. Like they don't care about like what works, what's
yeah,
right.
because I don't always care. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I will, but I don't always care about doing what's right.
That's first foremost. Like, for me, I have an INFP best friend, and I'm like, hey, we need to buy these weapon stocks, and she's like, no, I can't do that. That's not right. And I'm like, fuck that. This shit makes money. I'm about printing money. You know, I'm about what works.
Right.
Like, and she's like, oh, I can't do that. That'll be like contributing. I'm like, listen, just because you don't buy this stock, don't mean that the motherfucker going to zero. Okay, this motherfucker can go if you put your money in it or not. Okay, but you know she wants to do what she perceives to be right. Okay,
Yeah.
they live very closely to what's right. But ESTPs they have this they have FI trickster. So a lot of times they actually are unaware of FI and believe that they actually have more FI than they think. It's crazy. You'll see it with ENTPs as well. It's like, holy shit, man. Like the FI tricks to be beating ass. Um,
That's crazy because I don't go outside a lot. And
mhm,
it's like a constant struggle for me to like live in the real world. So
mhm.
I figured that was my what is it, SE trickster? That's what I
He
was.
said SC trick. SC trickster, bro, you could spot a mile away. Like, they usually are very poor at dressing. Very poor at dressing. Like they can't put like stuff together to save their life when it comes to like coordination and stuff like that. It's just like it's just not there. Like
Okay.
see them with like some weird shit on, just like, and you're like, why does this person got all this crazy shit on? I mean, for instance, you see Michael Jackson with the fucking glove, but I mean, that's just the cover of his vitiligo in his hand, but still, just like little shit that like it's just weird. It's just
See, that's how you can take it though. Like I was sitting there thinking, they say INFPs, they might dress bad when they're kids or, until they get the experience and see other people how they dress so they can kind of incorporate it into how they dress, what they like. So,
so
and that's kind of how I've done it. I
Uh,
was
so so
horrible.
the thing is they're SI users and they have no SE. So like they're almost unaware of what other people are doing. So what you just described there was actually SE.
Really?
SE is seeing what other people are doing and now you do it. That's an SE thing. SI is not about that. That's the reason why they very much like struggle with clothes and stuff like that. A lot of times, you'll either see they either dress like shit or they'll like take this overly like politician type dressing. Like that's
Okay.
what I've noticed with them. It's like it's either like they dress like Mr. Rogers, you know Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
That's they either dress like that or they dress like shit. I don't. It's like no in between. Like it's like I'm like yo, like my best friend's like Mercer, you should wear suits and all this, and I'm like she only thinks suits or dress like shit. It's either it's no in between.
Black or white. Yeah,
It's like it's
I
no in
got you.
between, and I'm like, ooh, your pants are too big. She's like, oh, they're too big. Yeah, like bro, how do you not know this? Like you don't even live in like fucking in reality. Like they don't even live in reality. I would say the SE trickster are by far the most abstract of all the types. Because they're not even here in reality. They're completely unaware. Zero.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tripping me out, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy to think you're an INFP like for 5 years and then like and being an extrovert, that's flipping my mind.
Yeah, I mean, ESTPs, man, they really think they're introverted. That's why we were taking our time on that because we were between ISTP and ESTP. But you just kept fucking initiating, dude. As soon as I noticed when I came on the call, you initiated with me. Shelly got on the call. What's up, Shelly? Like you're initiating. I wrote that shit down. I'm like, oh, he's initiating. Like he doesn't care about initiating. That's like a introvert will just sit there until they're spoken to pretty much and just stay on topic. Even
Yeah.
in this video, you'll be able to review it and you'll see, oh, he keeps initiating. He keeps on initiating, changing the subject, all that. And I was like, I told Shelly that early on, but we had to make sure, like we literally had to make sure that you were in the ISTP. And then you start talking about the outcome, and your focus on the end product. So if you're TIFE outcome,
I'm glad I
woo,
did this, dude, because
huh?
I'm glad I did this because there was always like even though like INFP like it really did fit, it felt like it fit me a
Hmm.
lot. You know what I mean? But there's always just something like that wasn't adding up with like little things. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I know everyone could be different even as the same type,
Yeah.
but there'll be certain things, obviously the system you have is really good to detect that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, and then also you always talked about like your number one thing was like giving other people an experience, a good experience.
yeah,
Like
I,
even
I do want to give myself a good experience,
Mhm.
but um, I do notice I'll do that to give myself a good experience. Oh, Jesus.
So it's basically like you giving other people a good experience makes you feel good as a person. You sharing your SE with them. Yeah.
So do I have the complete opposite functions that I thought I had?
Uh,
I don't have FI.
you don't have FI. That's why you said your self-esteem.
I don't have
Self-esteem.
FI, NETE,
You-
or
Yeah.
SI.
yeah.
You know,
That's crazy, bro. That's nuts.
So you're TIFE user, SENI.
One
So
last thing. Yeah. I doubt you guys are even thinking about it, but any idea about the Enneagram?
Enneagram 7 probably.
I thought I was a 9, bro.
9? Shit, man, I'd have to revisit on that because you're kind of throwing me for a loop here, man. Because it's weird that a fucking ESTP, or it's so weird that ESTP is like, oh man, I thought I was an INFP. That shit just throws me for a loop. It's fucking it's crazy. I have to relook at it.
I have a
Uh,
lot more research to do now.
I have to fucking go back and look at it. But if I was a betting man, I'd probably. What would you think, Shelly? 7? Shelly?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably 7.
It's crazy.
Uh, but I have to revisit it, look at it again to make sure, because I want to figure out why the fuck these ESTPs think they're INFPs. I really want to understand why.
Dude,
See,
it's tripping me out there.
it's
You guys are
probably
extroverted.
FI trickster there, but um, yeah.
It's tripping me out that I'm extrovert.
Even when I asked you what was your favorite cologne, you
Yeah.
remember I asked you that. I asked you that for a reason, because FI used to be able to just go straight to, oh, this is my favorite one, because they or like FI is all about identity. Like they remain true to their identity no matter what it is. And then you talked about wearing masks. That's an FE fucking thing because that's not conducive to your identity
Yeah.
or staying consistent with your identity. Wearing a mask is not that. That's like some FI tricks or shit.
So I'm thinking maybe a lot of
Do.
this, a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with that as a child that kind of made me be very introverted in
Yeah.
life. So maybe it's that.
A lot of times that people talk about like ESTPs, they kind of get annoyed with people so much, because they also know they're always getting out of a situation that they'll just fucking retreat, you know, because they're aware of like what they get out of a situation and they know they get fucked over, so they end up like just isolating themselves from people. Generally speaking, a lot of the times.
Yeah. Damn, this is crazy.
But we got another type in that in like 7 minutes, so I gotta go, brother.
Thank you guys.
Research it for yourself and let me know, man.
I will.
Definitely got you down for ESTP, man. It was a
Thank you
pleasure,
guys. This is
man.
terrific.
Hope to see you in the community, man. It was a
I
pleasure.
will.
All right.
Take care.